Okay, you know the drill. Hand it over. All of it. All right, great. You need the foreign language textbooks? Comprende? Whatever. All right, now I need art supplies, any extra supporting materials, I need keys to field trip buses. You won't be needing that. Okay, that about does it.
But we have nothing left.
Go home and cry to your parents. I mean, really, go home and cry to your parents. They're really the only ones who can help you save your schools. Now, get out of here.
Is there anybody here whose parents are not at all involved in his education?
Well, mine are not involved, but it's not a bad thing. Because of the language barrier, it's very hard for them to be engaged in my education. So I've had to take a very independent role when it comes to school. But I do have support from them.
Most of the time they're busy, and so like you said, I'll have to take responsibility and be independent on my own.
Do you think that makes it harder for you?
Somewhat.
And for those of you whose folks are involved in PTA, they are involved in your extracurricular activities, how do you think that helps you?
Well, my mom pushes me to do my best because I like to get good grades, but sometimes if I'm feeling lazy, I'll be lazy, but my mom is the one that really keeps me straight.
You need to know what your kid's doing at school. You need to know what kind of environment they're in, who their teachers are, so you can relate to what they're going through.
How much involvement is too much?
My mom actually used to go online. She used to go on every single blog of all my teachers. She used to go on the school website to see what the events were coming up. I felt kind of just invaded a bit.
My mother's actually worked at my school every year since I was in the 7th grade. She's always been there. It'll be times where I'll be in the classroom and she'll just walk around the hallway. She'll take a little look in, and then she'll tell me to come here.
You know, it's bad enough to get in trouble at school from your teacher. You sure don't want it from mom, too.
I know people whose parents actually work in there. They follow them in the halls. They talk to them. And then, like, my friends are like, all right, that mom needs to give the kids some space.
Do you think it's worse at the middle school level or the high school level?
Definitely much worse at the high school level, yeah.
Well, I think it's great when parents are involved, but they have to realize that they need to let us spread our wings.
How do you think too much parental involvement could harm your education?
I mean, I know that there is a level of too much, but personally I don't think that that could ever harm you.
I've actually seen some of my friends whose parents are like really involved and they always want to know exactly what's going on, and it kind of just smothers them as an individual learner.
I think it hinders the students' ownership of their own education. It makes them think, oh, if I don't do this, then my parents are going to know. If I, make a B or, something lower than that, then, oh, no, my parents are going to do something. It's not about, oh, I have to learn from my mistakes and move forward.
At Broadacres, we have parents who definitely want to be involved in their children's education, but sometimes aren't sure how they can be supportive or how they can actually be involved to help their students do better in the classroom. And so we found that we've had to look at it in many different ways to help and support our students in their learning process. One of the things that we try to do is to embrace parents in our classrooms and in the school in general, so that they feel welcome and know that they have an open invitation to come into classrooms and to come into schools. We help that by having a parent resource coordinator who works with parents with any of the needs that they might have. Another thing that we find important that we do is to educate our parents, and so we have different nights and different activities that parents can be involved in where we're actually telling them how they can actually support their children in the classroom, whether it's giving them information on what our state testing is going to be and how they as a parent can help support their child to do well on that, or whether it's how they can help their child with homework, or whether it's a make and take where they can do games and activities that they can then take back home and work with on their child. And then the other thing that's important is just to kind of empower our parents, to let them know that they do make the difference in their child's life and in their academic success. I think back to one of the parents that I had when I first started at Broadacres, and she didn't feel very confident in her own abilities because she didn't speak English very well, and she didn't feel confident in my abilities because I was the new teacher teaching her baby in kindergarten. But just inviting her into the classroom and working with her, and then after that experience in the years to come, she became one of our most involved parents in the school and actually helped us to get other parents involved as well.
The involvement of parents is really important because ultimately they're the people that have the most insight on their child. I mean, they're really a wealth of information, and the collaboration between parents and professional staff here is really incredible.
There's a sort of an explicit support and an implicit support. I think the explicit, they have formalized pack groups and meetings and informational things that are put on for families. And the sort of implicit support is this sense of community where you feel like you're not out there all alone fighting this battle, and that there's other people like you and like your family that are grappling with the same issues, and just having other people who are about to go through some of the things that you're going through or have gone through really gives sort of that sense of peace in the whole process.
This school has a huge commitment to its parents, and it's a wonderful part of the school. We have a full-time person whose job it is solely to work with parents, and she's part of the team. Parents know that they can call the school. Within 24 hours, they will get a response to their question. They might not get the answer immediately, but they know that they're listened to. They know that someone is working on it.
I very often will email a parent and tell them about something that happened at school that they may want to know for when their child gets off the bus at the end of the day. And in turn, it's important for the parents to tell me perhaps about an incident that happened over the weekend or happened the night before, or a med change that will really impact my teaching and help me get to know the student better and what I can provide for them.
It's very stressful having a child with special needs, and knowing that a place like this exists where he can come and people understand what his needs are and can meet them is more critical than anything really for us right now.
Her track in life was my responsibility. It's a full-time job, figuring it out and working out curriculum and checking in with the schools and checking in with the players. And the moment we entered cotting, it was like a huge load was lifted off of our shoulders in terms of having to take that responsibility.